Hey, welcome back. Um, so we just got pre-release candidate one in the last few minutes, which actually kind of wrecked. I was recording something about this, and I'll show you why. You'll figure it out. Left this version, came back in, and now or left the pre-release 8, I think it was. Came back in, and it was this, and it was confusing. I had to go look stuff up, which there's nothing. Last I checked, doesn't really matter. So here's what's going on. I went ahead and built out a remote control. Let me just do this. Game mode, spectator. I built out a remote switch here that I wanted to use like a target block and shoot arrows at it. I couldn't get it to work. Don't know why. But what happens now is and nothing will spawn here because there's redstone, so they can't end up here. That switch tells ultimately tells this block to update. I'm pointing at it, but you can't tell. The switch tells the redstone to tell the block to update that, and it goes down, and if I turn it off, it'll retract, and they'll bounce around for a bit, but ultimately end up down in here, where at the moment we're just in here. There's no water, because I've got dispensers here with buckets in them. And this system, which basically if I flip... Are those blinking? There's particles. Yeah, if I flip the switch out there, I'll do it in a sec. It sends a signal that turns on a redstone lamp. The observer sees it, tells the dispenser to throw water out, which happens to miss this redstone a bit. And then it gets extended over here, does the same thing on this side. Let me find a... Wait, can I get out that way? So if I turn this switch on, it will, with the speed of redstone, make its way up. Send a signal over, get there, turn on the 4 water sources, and we get water. Now here's the problem. Until recently, if I did this, like I tested it and it worked, fish would happen in there. Guardians. So something is updated in the last few days, basically. I'm not sure because this water, when there's fish in, let me get up there for a sec. I'll show you what should happen. If I get up here and give me a, I'm in creative, right? Give me Guardians. If I had a bunch of fish, they wouldn't spawn up here, but it's not the point. If I have these things in there, then if I get down here, where you can see stuff, when they're doing a lot of bouncing, which is uncommon, but they fight each other, and when something dies, whether it's fish that give me shards and crystals and fish and whatever, or sometimes they win and I get iron and roses, because there's a hopper array in there, which leads to this point, and runs all this way into a dropper there, which there's a comparator. There's a hopper beneath this carpet. There's a comparator that goes out and sends a signal back to the dropper and tells it to fire when there's something going through that hopper. Fine. But also this is all, there's soul sand down there. So it will, oh, it's just a water lift. Sometimes, and I don't know when the last time this happened was, I get guardians spawning in there, whether or not there's water in there. So, that happens. And I'm trying to think the last time I saw a guardian that was in that water, because, you see them up here. They'll end up sitting up here looking at me through the glass and they can't do anything. My hunch, I've got a few, is that, because the only source block, I think something updated with source blocks in Guardians. I think they used to spawn in falling water. Like if you get in, let me go spectator. Game mode, spectator. Can I see stuff with this? Will it tell me what I'm looking at? Okay, water falling, I'm looking over here. Water falling true, level 8, whatever. But here it's water falling true. What cat? Run away forever. What am I not? Falling false, because that's a source block now. Where, you know, this one is a source block because that's empty now because it's out here. And I think it's too high up if it's at 59. I think it might have to be lower than that to really, for a source block to produce guardians around here. So what I wonder is if they has to all be source, which basically means that when I did all of this, instead of just having water in there, I broke it. I didn't break it, but then the game updated and it broke is what happened. Although that doesn't explain why I haven't seen one in here in a while. So I'm not sure that's true. So what I want to test, and this is where I found out that we had a pre-release candidate, is if I were here, let me just, can I fly still? Let me up here. If you look where I am, I'm on 84 at 190 by 141, so basically it's right here. In this version, in recent versions, everything after about 112, this monument hasn't been here. In fact, I could probably just show you what I'm talking about real quick. If I go through older versions, you'll see what I mean, and we can talk about it. So let me pause this and I'll come right back. Alright, so if we're here and oh, incidentally, allow cheats. Game rules, this is neat. I can respawn immediately, I love that. I hate this screen telling me I have to talk about things. Keep inventory so I don't have to rebuild all my stuff if I'm recording. And then I usually have this at 40, so this is all here now, which is kind of cool. Other things too, but nothing I worry too. I like cramming critical mass being 24. Requiring a recipe for crafting, we didn't even used to have recipes. You knew how to do something or not, so I don't even know what the Ultra Movement check is, whatever you say. We're done with that. Let me allow cheats. Okay. So let me just call this, 116.candidate, I guess in this case. Because we changed things. Last time, when I recorded a few minutes ago, it was just 18, pre-release 8, whatever it was. More world options. We're going to give it my seed name, which is my username. Done, and create. And it'll take a sec, obviously, but this should spawn. What it's going to spawn me on it, I think, is an island. Yeah, this is wrong. This is not supposed to be here. So, I don't want this damn thing here. It started happening in like 113. There's where the suburban village would be. There's my island, which is a little bigger than it should be. There's still no trees on it. In various versions, there's been like one tree. There's turtles. In the snapshots leading up to 113, the aquatic update, there was a sunken ship here instead of the monument, which is not here, because if you look where I am now, what did I say that was? Like, I was at 80, it's not really relevant what the altitude was, but I was about here, standing on the hoppers, looking down that way. So now there's icebergs, and there's just no monument, and so on. And that's not what I want to see, personally. But, so the monument no longer officially exists. It doesn't really matter if I'm flying in the air. I'm going to get out of here. I want the monument there. That's the whole point. So let me roll this whole game. I'll quit out and come back in version 111. So we have what should be here, to my thinking, and try a couple of things. So let me pause and come back. No, wrong button. Here we go. Okay, so we're now in 111 from 2016, maybe earlier. It's been a while. Go ahead and just call this we'll call it 111 setup, I guess. Why not? Survival's fine, but let me throw cheats on. There's not a lot to talk about here. Give it the seed again. And done with that. And create. And of course now I don't have tick speed up or anything else, but we can do that in the oh, I'm down here. Oh, and then the mouse sensitivity is insane in 111. Like what usually happens if I turn just slightly, it's just throwing me all the way around. Give me game mode spectator would be handy. Give me random. Oh, you don't know that I have to type it. No, it's game rule. Hang on, game rule random tick speed is 40. Doesn't really matter. Oh, we don't have instant respawning. We didn't have it back then. Keep inventory, but who cares? I'm going to be here for a minute. Now we have our monument. And there's no big island over. That's where that island was. That's the suburbs, right? And this is what I want to see is, okay, give me achieve for existing things. I'm kind of thrilled they got rid of that. If, oh, it's dark down here. There's no, the water is just what it is. It doesn't clear up over time. Are you guys just froze? Oh, they don't know about Man and Spectator. By the way, there are no sponges in here. I have checked exhaustively. I've leveled this thing so many times. There's never a sponge. It just doesn't happen. So I have to find another few monuments, really, to get sponges to come back here and do this one correctly. It's annoying as hell. But we got the big guys in there. And then we have, the smaller fish, which are supposed to exist if there's water. For the iron guys to fight, and then I get goodies from both. And can I, let me go just creative would be great. That way I've still got control over the, where the heck, this mouse is nuts. So we should have fish swimming around who may or may not know that I'm here. Dark. Yeah, so my first thought, now I'll do it in the new version. I was gonna go creative and kill off the fish for a second, make sure they come back, but then I won't get the Elder Guardians back. So let me park here for a sec. I'm just gonna aim right at that, which I think will still be there. There might be, depending how much I've exposed, icebergs beyond it in a sec. I'm gonna pause this, kick up to the pre-release candidate we were just in, and see what we get in the modern version. So hang on a sec. Alright, I'm not bothering to optimize or anything. I haven't really done too much to it. So we'll start this up over time. Eventually. Still waiting for that to happen. And yeah, there we go. 0%, 60, okay. So here we are looking, now the water is less, it's more translucent. I'm getting instructions for playing a game I've had for 11 years. Don't know about ice. I don't see any icebergs. I guess I exposed too much to have those happen here, which is fine. Less icebergs, the better. Is less clutter. Am I still in creative? Okay. So I got these fish. This monument, when I started it up in this version from a seed, wasn't here. Therefore, these fish weren't here. And here, and then there's, let me go spectator. What are you not believing me about? Game mode spectator. Make sure the elders are in there. I can't. There's one. I see it. Okay, so if I'm in here and I just go peaceful mode, he's going to go away. They're all going to go away. Back to game. Gone. And there's no guardians. There's normal fish, but there's no guardians. There's no elders for sure. So if I go back in there where he would be if he... Where is it? If he were going to exist, he'd be in here. We know that. Back into a... He's not going to come back. That was the thing. Go back to not peaceful. Done. He doesn't come back because you could get too many sponges that way is the basic thinking. So now if I swim around though, do we get the guardians back? And that's my question. I might be too close for that. I might have to back away to let it happen. Squid. I don't see any in this bothersome. Where's my island? There's icebergs now. Okay, Okay, I thought the regular Guardians would come back. I might be wrong. See, because my thinking... I think what got updated is they have to have spawn blocks of water, not just falling water. Is it because I'm in It is. I'm in Spectator. They're not going to spawn. I knew that. Let me get over here and go game mode. Now we should get them back. There they are. So they're still in, you know, pre-release candidate. Here we are, today's release. They still happen. But they're happening, I think, in source blocks of water. I mean, I know these are source blocks. There's no doubt. Let me check. I'm looking over here. Falling is false because everything I'm looking at here is a source block. I could probably find a falling block somewhere. Falling running water thing. It doesn't matter. It might be one in there somewhere. So, am I in Spectator? No. So these exist. I think it's because there's source blocks. Because, what did I say? That was like 59? So, the source blocks I have in the main map are actually at the level of this light. And I think that being a source block might be too high up to spawn these, at least reliably. So if they need water blocks now, which is kind of a new thing, they used to spawn in falling water, then that's A, sucks, and B, would explain it. What it doesn't explain is why they're not still spawning in the water lift, which is definitively all source blocks, because that way it works. There you've got the soul sand and, you know, whatever, making it a bubble stream lift deal to get rid of that. So I don't know what the answer is. Not helping me much to be here right now. So I'm going to pause this again. I'll come back in the main map and we'll talk about what the problems seem to be. So hang on a sec. Alright, so here we're back here. Iron Guy. I'm not sure what mode I'm in. Creative. He just falls down. That's his job. I fall down and see what's happening. So yeah, I think what's going on is these have to be source blocks. And I could test that. Technically, I would want to save... I don't want to make a backup of this. My last backup is, I think, like pre-release. It's been a little while. It's been a few days since I made a real backup. And then a real backup that I could absolutely pull out of the archives and start up again is like back in 1.15.2. If they have to have spawn water blocks, full blocks, source blocks is what they're called, that would explain that. I don't know why they're not spawning here. In this case, it might be that I'm too close. I have to be at least, what, 32 away? Try that. You'd think they would just happen, because there's no competition. Unless there is. Is it that there's fish out there? Fish in 1.16, I know, are counted as a whole separate mob set, so they don't interfere with monsters, but I don't know if that means that they do interfere with guardians. I guess that's possible. And if it's so, it's really stupid. You'd never see a guardian again because there's thousands of fish out there. I don't know why... I would buy that the source blocks being not in... They wouldn't spawn up here. The sources are all on the edges and corners there. But I don't see why they couldn't spawn in here still. Because if I understand it, and I'm not sure I do, they're spawning in... this should be far enough away. They're spawning in source blocks that have another source block beneath them or something like that, and are in the right place. So I guess it's also possible that they could be spawning within a tighter radius of the monument, which might mean that this is outside the zone. That wouldn't be, but since it's not source blocks, you see the problem. I could try... Well, again, though, it's got to be a source block on top of a source block. Because it's like the fishing update where, like, this thing doesn't work any... Well, it works, but it doesn't give me what I want. I've got the fishery over here, which through the end of 1.15.2, in fact, a few pre-releases, I think, you could catch fishing rods and bamboo and books, and now I think those are finally considered not treasure. But if I just use this thing now, because it's one source block and there's nothing around it, I only catch fish. I don't catch any goodies. I wonder if it's like that but different, but close enough to being like that that it sucks. It's maybe. I mean, why not? There's no fish in there, right? I keep forgetting how much I built out the damn glass here. Because yeah, if you go back just any episode, there's always a fish up here just looking at me. It's creepy. But now there's not, and it would end up there. It gets pushed up by the water, the bubble stream. So I don't know what the hell. And the only thing I can think to try is to basically just fill this whole thing with water so it's all source blocks. And see if we get fish that way. The problem is, I'd want to... First of all, I'd probably just do it cheatingly because it'll take hours. And second, I want a backup file that lets me... Well, I can do that right now. Let me... Can I? Oh, you know what? I don't know if I can. Lately, it's not letting me copy an existing file. Let me try something. What if I just make a second copy? Can I just do this? No, see, here's what's happening. If it's open, it won't let me... I'm just copying it. That's all I'm doing, and it still won't let me do it, so I don't know what the hell. I gotta shut all this down even to do it. Which I can do. And I guess I will. Get rid of that. Yeah, let me make a backup, and we'll just try a couple of things, so hang on a sec. Alright, so I should have a safe backup if I just had... Can I just... I don't know if this will work. Give me that. Like, maybe. I just shut this down so I have to start up on what I'm doing. Well, I can just fill. Can I? I'm trying to think what that would be. Fill from... This can go all the way to the base, I don't really care. Oh, they're gonna bump me around. What am I looking at? Can you give me a hint? So I'm looking at, to fill. Oh, it's not gonna let me do. I thought it would tell me. Let me just try negative 212, 31, 131. Again, it's a... Just fill that corner. Okay, it doesn't even care. But that's it's in memory now. Let me just go to where this bird for some reason exists. Oh, damn it. Give me creative so I don't fly outside the thing. If that's yeah. Yeah, I think so. And I want water. Right? Is that right? Let's find out. That's water. And that's not redstone anymore. So I filled it too full. That's fine, I don't care about that right now. What's this? If I back away enough for things to spawn, and then get a speed boost for existing, because I always get goodies for existing. Are there any damned fish happening in this thing? I shouldn't have to be that far away. I mean, 32 blocks, but even so. I got iron guys, no question about that. I'm not seeing fish. Why am I not seeing fish? What the hell? Oh, this is infuriating. I'm way more than 32 blocks from some of that. Like, just even on this level in the far corner. I'm not getting any fish. So that may be somewhat broken. I'm not getting a fish in there. Iron guys, not a problem. They're all happening. Why the hell are there no fish? Where could they be? Yeah, there's no squid either. Nothing is spawning in there. Sometimes I get squid. In theory, I could get basic fish. What is that basic fish? It might be. Yeah, it is. They're in there. Give me spectator again. Yeah, so those are spawning. And iron guys are happening, and they're sinking really slowly. And I even took out the thing they were spawning on, so we're not getting iron guys anymore. But no monster fish. Why the hell not? I don't know. Yeah, they should be totally just filling. I mean, there's no good command for, I can try to kill all of the iron guys, I guess, but I don't think they would be precluding monsters. They don't typically do that. They're in a different class. The class war doesn't allow them to prevent fish. So I don't know what the hell, and we're getting those fish, so it's not like it's a mobcap issue as such. Fish are a separate thing now. I can't figure out why I'm not getting any damned guardians anywhere in the world. And it doesn't appear to be because there's no monument. Well, I mean, there was a monument still there when I just updated the 111 map to this version. But the presence of a monument shouldn't be relevant. It should be the area and then the conditions, which are water. It's not about having prismarine nearby, or is it? I mean, is that a thing? You have to have prismarine? I don't think so. I can't imagine. Okay, there's that. I mean, are they going to spawn, like, on the prismarine? I've never heard of that. I don't think they need that. If so, it's not helping much. Let me get as far away from as I can, but down here. What is that missing for? Whatever. Not helping. It's nighttime. Is that relevant? Shouldn't. Actually, it might be. Surprised me much. Yep. But no fish. At all. I don't know what the hell the problem is. So even if I just reverted to just water and iron guys, which I could do, I'd do it a little less sloppily. I don't get guardians. And the problem there is if I don't get guardians, then what's the point? Because the whole reason to put the village where it is up there, over this area, is so that the iron guys they produce are killed. Because with that, it could be anywhere, and I could just have a lava blade that killed them in a tighter, 3x3 area. Are you really? They're still producing them, even though there's nothing to. I thought they had to have a solid surface to. Why aren't they just spawning on the glass then? That's weird. What the hell are they spawning on? Not that. It's too far down. What's this about? Oh, that's bizarre. Huh. I don't know. Just don't know. No fish. Would it help in any way if I were in survival? I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but because other things are spawning. Still no fish. And they happen fast when they do. And that's not the case right now. So I don't know. I'm not happy about it, I know that. Huh. Alright, well I got 30 seconds. Let me pause this, get out, I'll restore the map as it was when we started today. Hang on a sec, I'll just do it. Okay, so this is the normal map that we're always in. No fish at all, obviously. No fish in that thing. I don't know what the hell the problem is. If I just can't have guardians here anymore, that's really pretty disappointing. It's not like I couldn't get it to work somewhere else, but I wanted it to be here. That's why there's a village here and not somewhere else. It's right next to my, the whole point here is that I've got the whole map as it was years ago, and still got turtles, so I've got a backup now that has those. Well, no, I have to recreate the backup now. I don't know what the hell. There's just no fish. So that's a failure point. I don't know. I'll maybe, I don't know what to say maybe about. Like, hi cat, could you jump on me incessantly? Thanks. I don't know if I can expect the full release. The full release, by the way, has been updated. It should be the 23rd, like Tuesday in 5 days. I think it's Tuesday. Let me check. Right now it's Thursday, right? Yeah, so Tuesday. I don't know if they're gonna give me my fish back when that happens. There's no reason to think. And basically, I'm the only one who's going to see this problem because it's specific to this map. If this map has been, updated, however many versions from 1.11 to now. So, and the only thing I could do is like, it wouldn't even work to put like a spawner in there. That would be not only stupid and not the point, but it wouldn't even have to be right next to it to make it happen. So I don't have any answers about that yet. I'm just, I have information. I know when it does work. I don't know why it doesn't. Not really. So it's just mystifying. Anyway, I'll get out of here for now, and instead of doing anything today, it's just testing why nothing works. Might do another of these before Tuesday, otherwise I'll probably be back then when there's a full release and we can really test out that with what they say is. And then there will be a 1.16.1 probably mid-July at the latest, I would think, because they'll find new problems, but they always do. But for now, I'm going to split, and then might see you in a couple of days, might see you in around a week when we have the new one, whatever it is. See you then. So, bye.